kind of thing. As a matter of fact, I remember it with him, and it was like that. With Eric, I remember we did Aaliyah, and we went in the studio, and she came in with her brother, and I think it was Jomo Ankerson was managing her, the junior. Well, anyway, they all came in the studio, so we were set up to do the music and everything. And so I had Cliff and E, like, yeah, I told Kay we need to have them there. So, you know, I don't know how she writes or she creates, but, you know, they need to be on deck. And so we came up with the music. I think we called my man, Kev Lewis from Patterson, who was a producer and bass player. Kev came through and we did a track and he played the bass on it. So now it's time to write. You know, and she was real cool. You know, this was fresh off the heels of that first stuff, God Bless His Soul, that happened originally with R. Kelly. So I guess now the family took a more hands-on approach. You know, like this ain't gonna happen again. Not that we were that type of people, but you know, you get the gist of it. So we in there recording everything. And just as we was about to, Cliff and Eric was supposed to come in, Renee stopped by from Zhanè. And it was like, oh, hey, Renee. Oh, yeah, come on in, you know. And so her and Aaliyah, they just hit it off, you know, because you know, she probably knew them from the records they did. So next, you know, it was like, oh, yeah, that's what y'all working on? She said, yeah. Renee started writing. And it was just kind of like, you know, you get a look to Cliff and he like,
You gotta leave. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Then it's about the chemistry and the
Yeah.
groove, the fact that she locked in with her.
Yeah.
So rather than try to force, hey, well, check what are these guys? Nah, it's more important to have a chemistry with the person that you want to record the records and so that they're comfortable and that kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cliff and E would have came through with some fire, but
Yeah.
not that session. So yeah.
Yeah. And then you did Angie Stone then?
Yeah. Well, Angie Stone is man, listen, I'm a fan. I didn't know that
I can see her plaque behind you.
oh yeah. I didn't know that she was Angie B, the Angie B and funk you right on up. We're gonna funk you right on up. Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yes,
boom,
yes,
boom,
yes, yes,
boom,
yes. I can't
boom. I
remember
didn't
the
know
name
that
of
till we started working with her. And I was like, but I remember from a couple other groups that she was in. Uh, I
Yeah.
can't think
She
of
was
the
in a
name.
group in the from yeah, yeah,
I
I
can't
can't
think of it. It escapes me now. But anyway, I did More Than a Woman. That was on Calvin Richardson. Calvin Richardson was signed to Universal, and Willie was his manager at the time. They were going to put it out, but they were going to put it out with no video and no single. And Calvin was like, "Hey, man, I don't think that y'all, you know, if y'all don't believe in the record, you know, I'd rather just take the record and you know go someplace else." So I played the record for Peter Edge at J Records because that's who Angie was signed to. And I told him, I said, hey, man, if you could play this for Angie, I would love to work with her because, you know, tell her I can do some stuff along this line if you play this track for her. And I thought that he played it for her, but what happened, how we got to her was Breon, the guy that was doing the WAP in the back of Teddy's video.
Yeah, so Brian exactly with yeah,
He was
Brian,
actually
Jamie Foxx's best friend
yeah,
and music
yeah.
exec, yeah.
Eddie, right? Eddie knew him because he was with Jamie Foxx, and so Eddie asked Breon. Breon said, "Oh yeah, man, you know, I never met the guy, but I thank him." And he said, "Yeah, man, I'll get her there." So she came in, and we started going through stuff and whatnot. And so while Cliff and Bilal was working on another song over in the studio, I brought her over to the office so I could play some more of the music that we had, see if there was anything else she would like. And I got to More Than a Woman. I said, oh, I see. I know you probably heard this. And she said, no. She said, no, let it play. So song was playing. I'm thinking like, but I gave this to Peter Edge almost 6 months ago to play for you. You mean to tell me you never played it? You know? And so she jumped up. She said, oh, this is it. And she got on the phone and called D'Angelo. And she said, yo, I got a record, you know, that we could do. You know, so, you know, I'm in the background like, D'Angelo, you heck, man, listen, to get a record with her. And then, but I remember Calvin walked away from his deal over that song. So our plans was to take that song and build a project around it. So I told her, I said, I can't snatch the record from under Calvin because he walked away from his deal believing in this record. I said, maybe you could do it as a duet with him. You know, she said, if he wants to do it as duet with me, like, like I help y'all create the situation for him and everything and whatnot. And so I called Calvin up. Eddie got in contact with Calvin and we talked to him. And Calvin was like, yeah, man, I'll do it. You know, so Calvin came up, Eddie did the vocals. And then they later on went and started their own label called Kalanji. And I don't know what happened when they got out to LA. The record, I love the record, what they did. I don't know what happened when they got out to LA. Next thing you know, we heard they wanted the record and the soundtrack from Delivers from Eva. And we was like, oh, and it's like, no, not Calvin and Angie's version, just Calvin's version. And so we had put a clause in an agreement that if they didn't release the song as a single, that Calvin reserved the right to take the song and use it to secure another project or somewhere after 6 months or a year, something like that he said. And so now people at Hollywood Records who did the soundtrack want the song, Calvin's version, in the movie with Gabrielle Union and LL, you know.
Wow.
LL again. And so they're like, listen, we don't really have anything to do with that. It's like, yeah, you know, but you guys, you know, produced the record. It's like, yeah, but well, they're saying if you guys want to do the deal, you know, we're for it, you know, put it in, we'll give Calvin a deal. And so it just turned into this big riffraff. And then I remember Angie called us and she was upset and we had to explain to her we didn't have anything to do with what was going on. We were hearing from people saying they want to use his version. So she wanted to put the song as a single, but of course she wasn't now that they had the differences. She's not going to put it out with him on it, you know? So we brought Tyrese in first and he sung on it. And Tyrese's voice, you know, as dope as he is, it just didn't go with the song. And then she said, I know what, let me call Joe. And she called Joe and Joe came in and he murdered it. So we have 3 versions of that song. We have Calvin and Angie, Calvin by himself, and Calvin and Joe Angie and Joe on the remix. And so they recorded it, but I think they didn't release it as a single for sale. Calvin did the deal on Hollywood Records and they put it out in the movie soundtrack. So, man, that's how finicky and crazy business can be. And, you know, we're looking at it like, listen, what happened from the time they left from us doing the record to when their situation fell apart and then it turned into
this big thing.
And then it got nominated for a Grammy.
On Angie's side.
We went to the Grammy party and everything with Clive. It was like, boy, there was only one version.
Oh goodness. And yeah, she was the vertical hold and the sequence, yeah.
Vertical hold, that's
vertical hold and the sequence, yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They understand what those boys winning all spirits.
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.